What's going on, world? It's your boy KAYFABEYBABY and my pals from the reviews. You've seen them throughout the year. Some great folks I got from the movie review screen comments. I'm forgetting his other one, my man Anthony Francis, because he's on so many things. How are you, Anthony?
I'm fine. Film Threat.
Film Threat, that's it. And of course, as you see, he's showing the shirt from the Peach review. My brother from another mother, who's Mr. Snow Miser, because we are talking about this stuff during the holidays. My man,
That's
John
awesome.
Jones. How are you, John?
Good to be back.
Awesome, guys. So as I said earlier, we've had a good time this year reviewing films, but now let's close it out with some of the best of 2024. We have our top 10 lists ready, although it was majorly difficult to put it together. Even up until the ninth hour, me and Anthony were going back changes after changes, and it'll probably maybe change by the time we get to actually giving our individual lists at the end of this. But stay tuned for that, y'all. Buckle in, because we're going to give you that. But before we do that, as we build to that, we're going to kind of highlight some of the different pieces that make a great film by going through the different categories that, as a member of the CCA, we kind of nominate for different groupings. And then that kind of, I know for me, helps me facilitating my top 10 lists. So I'm going to walk it through with my guys here and, talk about best score, best song, best animated film, best foreign language film. And then we'll close it out with our top 10 lists and giving you some of the reasons why. And then maybe at the very end, give you the dud of the year, which if you've tuned onto the NRW, you probably know what it is. But we'll see if it stays that way and if it's the same with John and Anthony. So you guys ready to talk through some of these categories?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. This one I find very interesting. And this, again, as I was putting my list together, it helped focus me to establish the list. One of the things I talked a lot with Anthony in particular this year is music, score. And there was one film that really stood out. And I thought during that time, it detracted from the film. But it then, because it was so memorable, I had to put it in there. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but I'm going to throw it at Anthony for him first to give his top 3 picks for best score. What would you see as your top 3 films for best score for the year, Anthony?
Very quickly, I won't say what I think it is, but it is a good score, but it didn't work for the movie if that's what you're choosing. My favorite score of the year, number 1 is The Brutalist. I think that score just it works in unison with imagery, and it's just so brilliant. And it's not often anymore these days that we get a big orchestral score, and that was, I mean, the whole movie is old school filmmaking, and it's just such a bold score and a moving score, and the symmetry with the imagery and what was happening and the dramatic arcs of everything and everybody in it. It just blew me away, as did the film. But
awesome. And I just want to really quick, I'm sorry, in preface, if you can't think of a top 3, if you can only think of a number 1, you don't have to give me a top 3 for the both of you. Just FYI, in case, because it took me a little bit of, as we know, it takes us time to, narrow it down. So
I've got it.
So you got some more? You got some more? Go ahead.
I do. I have 2 and 3.
Okay.
Number 2 is right behind your head, sir. Flow. I love synth music. It's not, but people like Tangerine Dream and Brian Eno, and beautiful. Again, what I just said with have you seen Flow, John?
Yeah.
With the imagery that's going on, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that in a little while. It's part of what is so moving about that movie. And as the movie carries you just kind of float, forgive me, with that movie. And the ambient score is a part of that, I think. So Flow is my second. And the third one is over your right shoulder in the corner. The Substance. Another ambient score. It's as weird and trippy as the film, but one never overpowers the other. but the score stands out, which very few do these days for me. And that's my top three.
All right. I like that list. I like that list. I might have something similar to yours on there
Oh,
as well. How about you, John? Can you think of any? Again, you don't have to give me a top three if you only can think of a few.
No, I can give you three. I can give you
Okay.
three. One, this is one that, unless you've seen it, you would know. But one I would give to A Real Pain because
Hmm.
the whole background is Anthony and I saw it. I think it's Chopin. The whole thing because it was a nod to because the film was set in Poland
oh.
and he's like the biggest. And they even said he's like the biggest thing that to come out of Poland. So um, yeah, literally the entire score was Chopin. So I was like, okay, this is cool.
Beautiful.
Secondly, I got to do piece by piece because Pharrell did the entire soundtrack, and the entire soundtrack was fun. Um, it was very there was happy, there was sad, it was pretty diverse, spread out. Uh, in evoked a lot of emotions. The third I would have to give to what did I have on here? Oh, The Wild Robot. I like that.
Wow. Okay. I think both of you have partial pieces of my list. So I gave number three, The Wild Robot for
Wild
me.
Robot. Okay.
So I'm with you on that, John. Number two, me and Anthony were back and forth on this since we saw the film.
Oh
But
no.
it worked with that film. When I look back at it, Anthony, I think about that score without the film, and I don't know if it's the same film. Challengers, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross.
Mm.
I also attended a press conference recently with that, and I gotta give it its nod. I
All
gotta
right.
give it its nod. It just made that film, and it was weird. And as you know, we hated it. Me and Anthony kind of hated it at first, but then it worked. Did you see Challengers, John?
No, I didn't. I didn't see challenges.
Check it out, man. I'm sure you're gonna like kind of feel the same, but it might bring you in. But I don't know. I'd be curious your thoughts on it. But it's
Okay.
very interesting. But I think it's also what made the film for me. And I know I feel it's blasphemous what I'm saying right now, Anthony, because of everything we said.
Only
But
the one scene, and you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
You
yeah,
guys
I
ragged on it
gave.
pretty hard. You ragged on
we
it pretty
did.
hard to me.
We did.
Yep. So I gave Challengers the number two and number one. To all the points that Anthony stated, to me, it's the substance. That soundtrack was killer in more
Yeah.
ways than one. It just worked. It worked. All right. So let's keep it moving. Best song of the year. Again, same deal. You don't have to give a three if you don't have it. Let me throw it to you now, John. I'll have you kick us off. Give me your top three for best song of the year and which film that it came from. If if you can think of
Best
them.
best song of the year. It would be cheap and tacky if I just defaulted to Wicked. That would be too easy. So I'm not gonna do that.
I
Because
respect that though.
yeah,
Wicked has some tracks.
Wicked
Wicked
had
had-
some tracks. I'm also
yeah.
not a theater kid and they get on my nerves. So no, I'm not gonna do that. So I'll give the self-titled track Piece by Piece by Pharrell as an easy
I was
default.
wondering if you're gonna go back to that because you can go to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only one I can think of offhand.
No worries. And then I know I put you all on the spot. So FYI, guys, I put these fellas on the spot just because we can get their true and authentic, real quick opinion. So it also shows what really sat with them. So thank you, John, for coming up with that on the fly.
Yeah.
Anthony, now it's on you. Can you think of your top three or one?
I'm gonna have to do one. But
Okay.
my answer is thus, and I'm embarrassed because that's pretentious. My answer is thus. And I'm embarrassed because I don't know the name of the song. And
Okay.
I own the song.
Oh.
It's the Bike Riders over the end credits.
From Bike
It-
Riders.
It's
Bike
blah
Riders
blah
film.
blah by blah blah blah. I own it. I have the CD of said group, and I can't think of who it is or what the song is.
Okay.
But that's the best song of the year, and it was written for the.
Okay.
It's a great song. So all of you have seen Bike Riders, the very last song over the end credits.
And
That's
such a
great.
great film, but we'll be I'm sure talking about that in a little bit. For me, gentlemen, honorable mention. Actually, no, it's in there. Yes, in there. Never mind. I thought I had it wasn't in there, but again, I've been going over my list back and forth a lot. Number 3, Kiss the Sky, that was featured on The Wild Robot.
Okay.
As we mentioned earlier, me and me and John was in our pick for the best score. One of the best tracks on there was Kiss the Sky. I think it closed out the film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But wonderful song there. Next song, number 2, from Exhibiting Forgiveness, Bricks, by Audra Day. She was one of the leads in the film, but she also performed this song as well, and she is amazing. Go check out my interview on the channel with Audra Day as well.
I still need to see that film, by the way.
Great film, one of the year's best. Definitely in there. And actually, I'm going to have a contest on the channel. I actually received 20 codes to give away to fans. So I have a code for Exhibiting Forgiveness, y'all. If you haven't seen it, stay tuned for that contest or giveaway.
Nice.
Will and Harper, that great documentary with Will Smith and his friend, not Will Smith, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
And Harper, I forgot Harper's last name. The song Harper and Will Go West from the documentary Will and Harper. Such a beautiful documentary. But as you watch the film, they're talking about this song. They want to encapsulate their whole journey throughout the film. To me, it's beautiful. It made me cry and gets my top song of the year. Have y'all gentlemen seen Will and Harper?
Yes, it's beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's in the lower part of my top 20. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. All right, so there you go. Those were my nomination picks. Let's head over to Best Foreign Language Film. Anthony, do you have a top 3 and/or top 1 or 2?
I have a top 2.
Okay.
Zoned out. Hey, I'm on prescription medicine tonight. My number 2 is The Secret Life of the Fig. I think that's
The Seed of the Sacred Fig. The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Seed of the Sacred Fig. Sorry. Secret Life of Fig.
It's all good. I was like, hold on.
Sounds like a cartoon. A little fig. Making friends with grapes and stuff.
And you can also give a little bit of why or what it's about or whatever, if you want to do promo.
It's a film that's just coming out, is spreading wider.
Yeah.
So I want people to discover this. The director made it in secret as he was escaping the country. And it has a lot of things to say about the Muslim religion. And it's a powerful film. That he made it in secret is incredible. What he gets done. And I'll just say it's my number 2. And I want everybody to go see it. Support it. It's probably in contention with my number 1 for winning Best Foreign Film at the Globes and probably the Oscars. My number 1 is, I'm going to blow this title, guys. I am so sorry. I just saw it a few weeks ago. All That We Consider Is Light.
Oh, right? all That We Imagine Is Light. I think.
All That We Imagine Is Light.
That's been on my list. I didn't get around to it, so that's why I didn't make it. But now it's with you saying that kind of pushes me now even more to see it.
It's an ethereal film. It is just, it is like, forgive the pretension, if you go to an art gallery to see
All We Imagine Is Light.
Your favorite artist.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's All We Imagine Is Light.
All We Imagine Is Light. Yeah. If you go to an art gallery and to see your favorite artist, and you're walking through the art gallery and you're just entranced, and then you move on to the next and you're entranced in a different way, and then another way, and then by the time you leave, you realize you've just floated through the art gallery. That is how I felt when I was done with that film.
Beautiful.
It's incredibly moving. It's beautiful, and it should probably be in my top 10, but it's not tonight. But it's my favorite foreign film of the year.
All right, John. Pressure's on you. If you can give me a 3 and/or 1 or 2.
Man, unfortunately, they've been on my list to watch. So I haven't even watched any. But I can tell you the 3 I'm looking forward to watching the most, and that would be
Let's
The
go.
one that All We Imagine Is Light. That one. There's another one that's foreign. It's Canadian, but I believe it features Iranian main characters. It's called Universal Language. It
Mm.
screened at TIFF. I don't know too much about it, but I remember I saw the trailer and I marked it down as something I wanted to watch. So that All We Imagine Is Light and the Italian one, Vermiglio. I haven't
Oh,
watched
I'm
that
gonna
yet.
look at
Yes. I got interviews coming up with that. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll be watching it for those interviews. I'm talking to the
Okay.
director, I think, of Vermiglio.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Congrats, Patrick. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So for me, I'm gonna kick it off with Amelia Perez. It was on Netflix. Selena Gomez is in there. Who else is in there? But I thought that
Wait,
was
wait. Does that count? That counts as foreign language film?
it's in that category for the
Yeah.
CCA noms. And also there's one that you've mentioned and one that's on my thing behind me that's running in the foreign language category, but there's no language coming.
I almost said that's my number one. Almost. Yeah.
So I'm about to get there. So Amelia Perez, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 for me, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, to Anthony.
Oh, I need to see
and
that too. Yeah.
I hadn't seen All We Imagine Is Light, but now the both of you are saying that might have chopped into the top 3, but I hadn't seen it yet. So Seed of the Sacred Fig is number 2. Number 1, even though it has no language, but it is in the foreign film category.
Oh,
Flow.
Flow. That's true.
I gave
That's
Flow my number
that's my
one.
number one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because and we'll talk about that because I know we'll get that in our top 10 list.
Mhm.
But yeah, so those were my top 3 for best foreign language. And speaking of animation, let's head over to best animated feature. John,
My favorite.
it's on you now. Top 3, or 1 or 2 if you can't. Best animated feature of the year for you.
Me or Anthony?
You. Oh, sorry,
Me.
John. My apologies.
Yeah. You. Okay. Me.
Dude,
Gotcha.
hey, you.
I'm trying to remember who went last and back and forth and kick us off.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
It's
John.
okay. Oh, number 1, Wild Robot.
Oh, are you starting for number 1 or going to go 3, 2, 1?
Oh, we can do 3, 2, 1. 3
Okay.
is no. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 1,
Okay.
2, 3. 1 is Wild Robot. 2 is Piece by Piece. Piece by Piece. And then 3 would be Transformers 1.
That deserves love. Transformers 1 was good. I didn't put it in my top category, but it was a great film.
I thought I was going to surprise you with that one.
No, you're not gonna surprise me. Because just quick little side note, out of my top 15, 6 were animated. Just saying.
Hey, I love that.
Nice.
Animated films deserve love like that.
They
They
do.
definitely deserve love. Like all the hard work and diligence that so many people that they put together to create an animated film
And
definitely
they
deserves
take
that credit.
years. They take
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm with you there, Anthony. I mean, John. My
Yeah.
apologies.
It's all
We're all
good.
the same. We're all the same over
We've
here.
all been hanging out so long, we all look
Yeah,
alike.
we're a unit, not individuals.
There you
here.
go. There you go.
Anthony, let me throw it to you now.
Well, number 3 is now not a surprise. Excuse me to your answers. I have bronchitis, or your audience. I have bronchitis. Number 3 is Transformers 1. When I first saw it, it was a bad day. There was problems with seating, and I just thought, it was okay. Both John and my son, who were with me, said, "Are you crazy?" And then I took my son again, and yeah, it's amazing. It's the best Transformers film ever, hands down. And if they do more, let it be this. And the key to a great Transformers film is Transformers Zero Humans. That's the way to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it is such a great film. My number 2, The Wild Robot. It took me forever to see it, as you guys know. And I saw it. I was moved. I teared up.
If you don't cry during Wild Robot, you're broken.
Yeah.
Well, you're already broken. But
yeah, right. It's everything everybody says it is. It's beautiful. It is, I think, and I'll say this about my number 1, I think it's one of the best animated films ever made, The Wild Robot. As is my number 1, Flow, which we'll talk about again a little later. The Wild Robot moved me, made me tear up. Flow moved me, made me cry. And not sad tears, beautiful, like the beauty that was around me, what I was seeing and how I was seeing it and what I was experiencing, what the characters were experiencing. I'm gonna tear up now if I keep talking about it. I
I'm
was
with
telling
you.
my wife about it, and she said, "Are you gonna cry again?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's beautiful." Um, I really think if you told me to name my top 15 animated films of all time, Flow would be there. Yeah,
I can.
it's just incredible. It's incredible.
It's amazing that we got both the Wild Robot and Flow in the same year.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
outstanding. I completely agree. So real quickly for me, uh, number 3 is Inside Out 2. I had to give it that nod because of just everything it is. Most of the women in my life, that is the biggest film for them of the entire year, and it speaks to them. So, and it spoke to me as well. And I think it speaks to everybody, but it really connected. So I had to give it that number 3 nod. Uh, Number 2, you asked me a different day, it's the number 1. You asked me the other day, it's number 2. Today I'm gonna give Flow number 2, Wild Robot number 1. But you asked me tomorrow, it'll probably be Flow the other day. Again, like Anthony said, it's crazy we got these 2 films in the same year. The Flow and Wild Robot, just amazing. All right, gentlemen, let's head over to best comedy. Anthony, I'm throwing it at you. Give me your top 3 best comedy.
Oh man, you hit me with that one. I didn't see a lot of comedies I like this year.
Well, there's certain films that are in the comedy category, which you might be
Right.
surprised in when I give you mine,
Yeah.
that they put it into that category for some reason. Because it had, I guess, elements.
Do dark comedies count? And I mean really, really dark comedies.
I would think so, because my number 1 could easily fit into the horror category, if you will.
Then that's my number 3. Yeah. The Substance is something John should never see. And one of the just grotesquely hilarious films, social commentaries, spot on. And it doesn't hit you over the head with it. It literally rips you open, pulls everything out, and puts its ideas inside you. And you're laughing. You're not shocked. You're not scared. You're laughing at the pointed wit that's in that screenplay. And
well said. Well said.
thank you. And we were laughing a lot. And the critic who was next to us, Ashley, was not, and did not like it as well as we did. But no, that's my number 3.
Okay.
I don't know if this counts as a comedy. And even though I didn't love the movie, you know what? Scratch that. I'm going with something I bumped off. Now I'm bringing it back. Go ahead, give it to me, guys. Beetlejuice is my number 2 comedy. I know, right? I rewatched our show, by the way, the other day when I was sick, because I had just rewatched the movie again. And I think our squares were in the same spot, and I was getting the same crap from you guys. I watched it again at home. I laughed constantly at that thing. I thought it was hilarious.
I gotta give it a rewatch.
That's my number 2. My number 1, it's right there behind you. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
You can say comedy, you can say action.
Yeah, I didn't even think about throwing that in there.
I did not laugh as hard or as much or had a smile on my face longer, even with Beetlejuice, than I did with Deadpool and Wolverine. And while it doesn't make my top 10 films, it's the funniest movie I saw this year.
What? You got me reimagining my list now, because I didn't even framework it like that. But if I put substance in there, then obviously Deadpool. God damn it. John, it's you. Before I get to mine.
Well, hang on, because I didn't even know. Oh, yep, action, comedy, sci-fi, Deadpool, Wolverine. Yep, I had no idea. I might have to actually
not be questioned.
I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna make Deadpool and Wolverine my 3. because I was gonna say it was gonna be a real pain because that was actually funny, even though it was kind of like dark humor. But
Yeah, yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine was hilarious, as you all know. But for number two, surprised that no one's mentioned Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh,
Yes. I was just talking with Anthony about this earlier too. I didn't put it
Hundreds
in
of
anywhere, but
Beavers.
it deserves love. I
Yes,
respect you for that, John.
yes.
I
Thank you.
I
respect
should
you.
have had that
Thank
as my number three. I'm
Bro,
sorry.
it was unlike anything I've seen in years. The slapstick, just pure stupidity, just like simple props, the shooting, the camera angles, man. Like, I mean, the people in the Beavers, I mean, it was freaking hilarious.
It
It was
took me two
absolutely hilarious.
viewings.
You
The
said
first
what?
time I saw it, I was like, eh. And then I
Oh,
saw it again, and it's a delight.
yeah. Oh my
Great
gosh.
choice. Great choice.
Hundreds of Beavers is number two. And so number one might catch y'all off guard too, but it actually was considered a comedy. But Honora, I laughed a considerable amount during Honora. Like basically
Yeah,
from the home invasion on to the rest of the movie. I was
you're
just
right.
in
Yeah.
tears. Like Yuri Borisov and I can't remember the other guy's name, but the guy who flew from Russia basically overnight and to come back and check on him because he was his responsibility. Man, they were freaking hilarious. So yeah,
Respect.
Honora,
Mad respect on that
Great
list. Both of
list.
you.
preach.
Ugh, you just kind of made me like want me to hit CCA up and take back my nomination list.
Dude.
I want to
That's
rework it.
I'm
I
telling you, man,
definitely
the
like the
wife saved my
Deadpool.
life making an Excel sheet so I can plug them all in and then separate them by category, man.
I feel that. You definitely make me want to plug in Hundreds of Beavers and Deadpool and Wolverine, because both of those really hit the funny bone. I'll tell you this: my top three, but one that you'll probably see a lot in here because it's my top film. Well, it's one and two. I'll just go ahead and before we even get to our top 10 list, because you're about to now see a pattern as we get to the next batch of categories. The Substance and Sing Sing are my top two films of the year. Depending on the day, much like Flo and Wild Robot, I interchanged them.
Wow.
I love
Nice.
those are my two favorite films of the year. So you're gonna see The Substance pop up a lot. So because The Substance was in the comedy category, uh, it's my number one off the bat. So I put that in there because it's a dark comedy. So starting from three, although you make me want to plug in Deadpool and Wolverine and or Hundreds of Beavers into my three, um, I put Saturday Night because I really enjoyed Saturday Night, based on the SNL premiere way back in the day. So Saturday Night is getting my three, and like John, Honora, I gave my number two because Honora, like you said, John, was fantastic when it switches gears a little bit. It's a little bit. It just I was laughing my ass off. It was hilarious. So yeah, those are my three. But Hundreds of Beavers can easily get interchanged in there as well
Yeah.
as Deadpool and Wolverine.
I
Because
should have had that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Honora is fantastic. But Substance, I gave it number one because I just want to give everything to Substance and Sing Sing. They were a delight. All right, are we on John now? I think this to start off the category, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah.
Are we?
All right,
Okay.
John, best visual effects. Give me your three and or one or two. Best visual effects.
Ooh, visual effects. Ooh. I think I can make three out of that.
Okay.
Uh, we'll start with number three. We're gonna go with Moana 2. We're gonna go with Moana 2.
Interesting.
It was colorful, it was bright. When we saw it in IMAX, I felt in many scenes like I was floating, like the waves were taking me on the adventure with them. Like we were flying through the air. It was a calm, it felt like a unique experience. So I can give Moana 2 at number three. So visual effects. Number two, I'm going with Godzilla X Kong because Godzilla X Kong was awesome. So all the effects with that, and yeah, my number one, because we're talking about VFX, right?
Yeah, VFX.
Yeah.
Visual
Number
effects.
one, I'm
Yeah.
going with Dune 2 because the between Arrakis and I'm trying not to get it confused because I'm watching Dune Prophecy as well. So between Arrakis and all the ships and like the weapons and the sandworms, and yeah, it was I thought it was awesome. So Dune 2 would be my top pick.
All right. I feel those. I have something similar in there. How about you, Anthony? What you got?
My number three, my number one won't be a surprise. I'll just do that. My number one is Dune 2 as well, for all the things you said. It's just an incredible visual experience. Incredible. My number two, you're not gonna like, but remember, this is in the category of visual effects. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Come
Oh
on,
my gosh!
look at the movie.
Wow.
Don't look at the
Wow.
script, look at the visuals.
Wow.
The category is visual effects.
Wow.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And to prove that I'm not playing favorites, my number three choice is a movie that I did not like at all,
Ooh.
but it had some incredible visual effects.
Okay.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Interesting pool
Yeah,
there.
those are some great effects. They even top the effects from the previous Ghostbusters, which I loved. But I could not stand Frozen Empire. But the visual effects are really incredible. It's kind of a tie for three, that or Civil War.
Interesting.
Very different types of effect work in both of those, but yeah, there you go.
All right. My number one, Dune Part 2 with you gentlemen.
Hey,
Dune Part
Hey.
2 is my number one. I definitely agree with you there. Making its return onto my list, like I said, you're going to start seeing it come up quite a bit. The Substance. The Substance had some visual effects in there,
Yeah.
quite a bit, to pull off a lot of the monster stuff. There's some practical in there, but visual effects to do a lot of certain things that they did with The Substance required some great visual effects, and so that's my number two. Number three, which I'm surprised you didn't say this one, Anthony. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Oh wow.
Come on, Anthony. I'm surprised
Hey,
at
do
you.
me a favor. Remember what I said for number three? That's gone. Move Beetlejuice down to number two. Furiosa is number two now. Or
Wow.
No worries.
Wow.
How did I forget about it? It's on my top 20 of the year.
Furiosa, yeah,
Yeah.
killed it. Right there with
Oh.
Dune and some, yeah,
Yeah.
that was it for
That's
me.
ridiculous. I'm
Mm.
ashamed of myself.
All right, let's head over to best hair and makeup. Anthony, or was it? I'm sorry, I'm
No, it's on
getting lost
Anthony.
in the sauce again.
Is it on me?
It's on you. Best
Yeah.
hair and makeup. Give me the film. Top three or one or two.
All right. My number three is Maria. Angelina Jolie. If you look at the real Maria Callas, they did some incredible work with her. In moments, she is Maria Callas. She walks like her, but the makeup, the hairstyle, they had to raise her like eyeline. They had to pull back her ears. I saw a little thing on it. They had to stretch one of her cheeks. I don't know, but
Ouch.
yeah, I know. Walking through a whole movie like that. Yeah, it was an incredible job. And I think it worked very well. Number two, I don't know. We'll make that number.
You don't have to,
Yeah.
because we still got a long list and we got to get to our
Yeah.
top tens. So you can shorten it
Okay.
up.
Then that's two, and then number one's The Substance. I was hoping you'd do a makeup so I could have The Substance. Yeah, the effects, come on. I mean, practical to the max, dude. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, for all that we've already said it, most people have already seen it. Best makeup of the year. It's The Substance.
All right, John, it's on you, man.
Okay. Yeah, I had to revert to my spreadsheet real quick to make sure.
Just
I
keep
had
it at the
something.
ready. Keep it at the ready.
At the ready. So yeah, so for hair and makeup, my three are they're totally gonna catch you off guard, except for one. Third, I'm gonna do Maria for all the reasons Tony said. Plus, when I juxtaposed a lot of the pictures of Angelina and the actual Maria Callas, a lot of them were pretty doggone close. So I'll give them props on that. That was good. Um, Alien Romulus. It's a little random. It's a little weird, but I mean, there was hair and makeup going on. So yeah, I'll give Alien Romulus some props. And then a random one, One Love, the Bob Marley movie. That was
Oh,
this year. I know it was a long time ago, but it was this year. A lot
That
of
was
those,
Valentine's Day. That was a great film.
yeah,
Yeah.
great film. A lot of people who were either bald like myself or had low cuts, had dreadlocks and other such braids and cornrows going on and things like that. And people who are smooth faced had beards and goatees and whatnot. So I show them some love. Give One Love my number one.
All right, respect on that.
very nice.
Definitely. Okay. Um, this was a difficult batch of picks for me.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
Go
I've
ahead.
got number 3.
What you
Beetlejuice.
got?
Beetlejuice. Now go.
Yeah, man, sign this guy out, bro.
All right. My 1 and 2, because of just the horror effects, and again, another repeat is going to happen. In Substance is number 1. Come on now. The that's where the practical effects came in again. The Substance is going to come up a lot, y'all. So Substance, that kind of dictated my number 2 because of what they had to do with fucking Sebastian Stan and A Different Man.
Good choice.
Amazing. Sebastian Stan is amazing, but they had to do different stages of his makeup to show this condition of what he was portraying with this other gentleman who you'll see in the film who actually has that condition. Great film. Didn't make my time, but it's a wonderful film. But because of that process of what they had to do with Sebastian Stan, I gave that the number 2. And number 3, the play everybody's loving, Wicked. All the different people, all the little people, everything, all the different areas. That's a lot of hair and makeup and costume design.
Good choice.
Yes.
Yeah,
I gotta give Wicked hair and makeup as my number 3. It battles kind of like the 1 and 2 because of just all of that. So that's my top 3.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
a
sir.
great choice.
All right. So speaking of costume design, John, I'm throwing it back on you because it's on you, right? Because I think you
it's
started.
Anthony.
No,
Is
it's
it
Anthony.
now.
Who am I pushing it to? I'm forgetting.
John.
John, you're on the spot. John, why don't you rock it? Costume
Okay.
design. Give me your top 1, 2, or 3. Or again, you can only do. You don't have to do all 3 if you can't think of them. Costume design.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll start with Wicked. We'll start with Wicked. At number. Well, we all know why between the witches and everything else that was on there. But hey, number 2, throw a random one out there, man. Rebel Moon Part 2.
Hey.
Whoa, that's a real left.
Hey.
Let's keep it interesting. Okay.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah,
That's kind of where I went with my number 2, to be honest.
Yes. So
I didn't go that particular film, but I went left field with it.
Yeah. So Rebel Moon Part 2, I'll give it that. And then in the same genre, I mean, number 1, I'll go ahead and I'll give it to Dune 2.
Okay.
For the same reasons as Rebel Moon, but yeah, Dune 2, the costumes were incredible, so they deserve it.
All right, Anthony, it's on you, brother.
Number 3, Beetle. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Get out of here. Sign this guy out.
Number 3.
I could see that though, to be honest, because you go.
Oh yeah, that would totally
so.
work for this. But I have 3 over it. It's number 4. Number 3 might be out of left field. Conclave.
Respect on that.
The costumes
I could see
are
that.
incredible in that thing. It's
Interesting.
beautiful. The pageantry of it all, incredible. My number 2, Furiosa. Yep. Yeah, I mean,
That's
just great stuff. Always, any Mad Max movie will get a costume throw. And I have to admit, I have a tie for number 1 because I can't, and it's 2 very different types of costumes. And my first choice of the tie should have been on best makeup as well. Nosferatu. Not getting a lot of talk this awards season, and it makes me sad. The costume design is just beautiful.
I think it's also because they have a Christmas Day release, so it's still not a lot of people have seen it. Some critics have seen it. I've seen it 3-4 times now already.
Yeah, I'm going for my second on Friday. It's just, I mean, there's beauty in that darkness, and the
Oh
costume
yeah.
is a part of it. And my number one is Dune 2.
Okay.
Just insane costume design on that film. And look, honorable mention, definitely Wicked, you know. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take that a little bit further. I'm gonna start with my number three for the period, and just kind of bringing back to life this little show that could do and made it happen. Lorne Michaels, Saturday Night.
Nice.
Everything that I know as a big fan of SNL and them trying to capture that moment, that costume department put that in there. We had the bumblebee suits. They just all these little nuggets of costuming to recreate that time period that they did in Saturday Night. So that gets the nod.
It was flawless.
Flawless.
Mhm.
Number two, Anthony Furiosa, brother.
Hey,
Furiosa.
we're back.
It's in there. Like, come on now. They did all of that. And I gotta give Wicked number one. Just outstanding with what they did, hair and makeup, all of that, and then down to the costumes. I think they killed it. Let's head over now to best editing. And again, we want to, for time, because we got still quite a bit more to go through before we get to our list. Best editing, Anthony, it's on you.
Okay, number 3 is Civil War. It should probably be number 1. I don't know why it's not. The editing in that thing is insane. It's so tightly wound. There you go. And I'll use tightly wound to describe my number 2, September 5. Just edge of your seat, and anyone who knows the history knows the outcome, and it doesn't matter. I was on the edge of my seat, and I knew what was happening. I knew what was going to transpire. But the way they spliced that together and just tightened it up was just brilliant. And number 1 for me would be Furiosa.
Okay.
George Miller and his editing, what he does with action. It's art to how he edits a film, and it's incredible. And that's
All
my
right.
time.
I respect that list. I got something in there similar. How about you, John? Who you got? Oh, John, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Had it
No worries.
muted. Yeah, so number 3, we're gonna go with The Brutalist.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's like a 2.5, that's why it didn't
I
make my
knew he
list.
was going to say
It's
that.
too goddamn long.
But
Look,
it didn't feel
edit
like
it
it.
enough.
bro, it's long as crap. It has an intermission, but yeah, I did like the editing though, so I'll give it a surprise number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna do September 5th, so similar to Anthony. The time frame, the subject matter, the way that they were able to make it look like we were in 72, I believe.
72, yeah.
72? Yeah. So that's my number 2. My number 1, shocker, Deadpool Wolverine.
Yay.
Interesting.
Good choice.
Yeah, but I mean the editing was fire. So
Yeah, it was.
some people might not think it's number 1, but I mean for what it was and all that we got in the film, yeah, I'd give that my number 1.
Interesting picks. Okay. I have a similar one to the both of y'all. My same number 2 is September 5th.
Wow.
So September 5th is my number 2.
Okay.
My number 3 is Nickel Boys. Nickel Boys is one of the top films of the year for me. FPS perspective throughout the whole film, but they interweave a lot of different pieces in there. Just chef's kiss. So the editing to make that all work. That's why I'm giving it that editing nod. And might be a surprise to you on this one. My number 1 could have also gone left in regards to the story. Anora. I gave my number 1 in editing because of the way it flowed and how it could have done. They got to come different with it. I gave Anora my number 1 for editing.
That's a great choice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's go to you, John. We're gonna kick us off with best production design. And again, if you can't think of 3, you can. You don't have to do 1. Best production design. Shit, we still have a few more categories, so we can,
You know what? Let me pass it to Anthony first and come back.
You need a moment?
I need a minute. I need
Take
a minute.
moment.
Not a problem.
What you got?
Number 3, Conclave. For all I said about the costumes,
Okay, and
pageantry of it all, And the director uses the frames, and he paints those frames beautifully with lighting and staging, and just incredible to look at. Number two, I'm going to throw a little something at you, but just remember how it looked. This is production design, and
Okay.
no, it's not Beetlejuice. Maria. Every shot is exactly what I described in Conclave. I mean, he pans back. He's not always in her face, except when she's singing. Just incredible design. Her apartment, the opera houses, how he chooses to shoot the streets of Paris, and a little bit of Greece, beautifully. That's besides her performance, it's the giant thing I took away from that movie when I walked out of it. And production design, number one, is Dune 2.
Okay.
Just incredible what he's done with that whole universe. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat it for sci-fi production design. It's just stunning to look at.
All right. I like those picks.
Yeah.
What you got? You ready now, John? Or you still need a moment?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
good now. I'm good. So, yeah, my three are going to be kind of random. Okay. So, at number three, it was a foreign film, but it was awesome, from our friends from Well Go USA. Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In.
Oh,
The level of badassery in that film is very, very high. From the fact that it was like a walled-in city, to specific parts had a tower in there, and the fact that they made this and it was based on an actual real place, and I was able to confirm it through through a local that does press out, and because it's in Hong Kong. So a local that does press out in Hong Kong. And then I came to find out that my dad in the early 80s used to go there for work overseas, and was like,
Crazy.
oh, that's the place where the planes would fly in between buildings and like this and that. And I was like, oh, I heard about that. And so I looked it up and talked to some other people. It took me down a rabbit hole, and I talked to some people that were actually in Hong Kong, and like it was very, very interesting. But the fact that it was very close to what it actually looked like, because I looked up pictures of it and everything. Oh my gosh, it was, so that definitely earns my number three. So number two, Furiosa, because naturally y'all know that set was amazing. And then number one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, I don't know why anyone mentioned it yet.
That's a great choice, man.
Hey, Caesar's not getting any love because he's not here, so we had to throw it back to what was his name? Maximus? I can't remember, but yeah, it was earlier this year. I know it kind of faded from people's minds because it came out earlier this year, but
That's a good choice.
I thought
I give respect on that, because you had like the wood scene and that the whole
woods,
the
the
wooded
waterfall,
area, and then you had the water with the abandoned ship with that's beached. I give respect on that. I like that. Okay.
I can't believe none of us mentioned that for makeup.
True. Definitely
where?
get some nods there for makeup.
Oh yeah. You're right.
All right. So for me, production design, period piece. Got to go back to it again. Saturday Night. It's in my top 10 list. So it came into a lot of these categories. Again, that time period, the different staging of the camera and how it worked. To me, have y'all seen Saturday Night?
Mm-hmm.
Just the beats. It was anxiety fueled throughout, and just the way they worked all that production design to get all these different moments in different areas on a set that we all know is very small. But there's so much there that production design to make that all work. And in the period, I had to give it that nod there. Returning to the list, The Substance. I don't need to say anything else there. The Substance is in production design, and hitting it up with number one for me is Wicked.
There you go.
Wicked, all those sets, just phenomenal work there. An honorable mention that almost made it in there. To Anthony, you said Dune. That almost cracked it in there, but I decided to do period. And also Nosferatu, atmospheric.
What am I doing?
Nosferatu did. It was punching at my top three.
Do over. That's my number one. That is my number one.
But
gosh.
but it's gonna make a return in a second. So again, I gave Wicked the nod, but Nosferatu's punching in there. But we're now about to head into cinematography. So
Yeah.
Anthony, best cinematography.
Okay. Number three. This has been on two other lists, and it's been at number three in both of them. Conclave. Beautifully shot. I already said why. Gorgeous pageantry. Just love the way that looks. Number two, Furiosa. Because it's George Miller shooting the wasteland as good as he ever has, and bigger kind of than he ever has. And then number one, Nosferatu. Beautiful cinematography. It's Baroque. It's a waking nightmare. It's beautiful. And dare I say, there's some Gothic romanticism to it. And it's all, I mean, for many reasons, but the cinematography does a lot of the heavy lifting on that stuff. And it's just incredible to look at. I mean, there's not a moment that I took my eyes off of that thing. You can't do it. It's incredible. And there's something to see everywhere you look. And it holds on you, or it holds you, I'm sorry, and carries you through the movie.
I'm with it. I like that. John, on you.
Okay. And also, let me say, in my defense, we haven't voted yet, so that's why I'm scrambling for all these categories. Because unlike you, we haven't voted yet.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm nominating right now. I didn't vote yet. These are just nominations that I've done.
Yeah, we haven't even nominated yet. Yeah, so
we've already picked our winners. Wait, you're in the
W. Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
look at y'all. So for 3, we're gonna go with Gladiator 2.
Oh, great choice.
I like that.
Go with Gladiator 2. Yeah, between the Coliseum, then outside the city, and then within the city's walls, and then in the cellars, and then back in the Coliseum, it has water all of a sudden. I mean, ships. Yeah, so I'll give it some love. That's number 3. Number 2, I'll give Maria.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how much Maria's getting so much love in this.
Yeah, parallel to what he said about Conclave. I think Maria's deserving of number 2. Number 1, I'll throw it to Wicked.
Okay.
Give Wicked some love. Yeah. Not anything. What am I trying to say here? The way that I felt like everything progressed for the better from because the singing at first was kind of flat and there was nothing really to look at in the beginning. But as the story goes on, it's like, okay, then there's the school, then there's this world, then there's the office, then there's the dorm, and then their singing gets better, and then the quality gets better, then the music gets better, and then they go to see the wizard, and then there's all of that. And I just feel like everything just gets better as the film goes by. So
all right.
That's number 1.
Right
I feel that list, gentlemen. For me, my noms were number 3, Saturday Night for best cinematography. Again, really? Just everything, because it's a period film, and just the way they have to work it all through all these different parts of a small area. I had to give it that nod.
You never, I don't know if I already said this, you never don't feel like you're in the 70s. In that
exactly.
Movie. Yeah.
Exactly. And just the way I was surprised how much I love Saturday Night.
I liked it a lot.
Even as an SNL fan, I was like, my anxiety was through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
The actors were spot on. Like, they stole their voices and their visuals, just everything. It was just so well done. But anyway, I don't want to go too much long because we have a lot more to go. So Saturday Night number 3, Nickel Boys number 2. Again, this film was in a FPS perspective. And just the way they did that for you to experience what it would be like to be a person of color, to make the audience feel what we go through day to day. And then they rotate it to a different character in the second half of the film. Did you both see Nickel Boys yet?
Mm-hmm.
John, yes. You got to see Nickel Boys, my brother.
You do.
It just is just amazing how they did that, because the actors that that are on the screen, Anjanou Ellis Taylor, who I had the pleasure of speaking with, She's the mom in this, and you're feeling like her son, and you're dealing. It's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. It's tender. Nickel Boys, because of just of the way they did that film and getting my number one cinematography, Anthony Francis. It's Nosferatu.
Yes, it is.
It's
Thank you.
Nosferatu, dude. I had to give it just atmospheric.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the prototype, the blueprint of what a vampire movie needs to be.
Indeed.
I had to give it that love. All right, let's head over to best screenwriting adapted screenplay, because after this we're gonna do best screenwriting original screenplay. So first up, we're doing adapted screenplay and the best screenwriting. I forgot who we're on. So
I think
who
John.
wants to go first?
I don't.
And again, if you can only think of
I'll go
one
first.
because of time, again, you don't have to do all three.
No, that's fine.
You can just give me one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just give you one.
Okay.
Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Dune 2.
That's
Okay.
on mine.
Yeah.
Respect. I dig that. All right, how about you, Anthony?
Actually, that's my third, Dune 2.
Okay.
Incredible adaptations, both films. I thought this one was even better than the first Dune. Yeah, Dune 2 for adapted. I forgot my second one, so I'll go straight to my first, which is Sing Sing. Incredible work based on an incredible book. Did you read it? Anybody?
I didn't know that was adapted.
I did not.
I thought they took it from his biography. Not his, but I can't remember the character names.
You talking about
The guy he's playing. The
Divine
guy.
G.
Yeah. Didn't they take it from? I might need to. You go, Patrick.
Yeah.
I swear they took it from his book. I'm gonna check that.
All right. For me, we are recording. All right, guys. Best screenwriting adapted screenplay for me. I'm gonna kick it off with Nickel Boys. That's my number 3. We've already mentioned it quite a bit. Again, I gave it like the best cinematography nod, but just this film communicating through the camera with the audience just was an amazing way to do this film, and was truly a cinematic experience for me. Again, it got a lot of love from me this year. Number 2, The Wild Robot. If you didn't cry during Wild Robot, and you weren't aware that it was a children's book before they made it this film that just you need to have a box of tissues on, it gets my number 2. And number 1, Sing Sing. I'm sure this is going to appear quite a bit later on with our list, but that takes a nod for adapted screenplay for me for best screenwriting. Let's head over to original screenplay. John, are you ready? Can I throw it back to you now?
It's Anthony's turn. It's Anthony.
Okay, you did do that. Okay, all right. Again, my confusion. We got a lot of categories. Anthony, what you got? Original screenplay.
Very quickly, I didn't have a number 2 for adapted, but I do, and that's Nosferatu. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Robert Eggers. Shout out to Robert Eggers.
Original screenplay. I am going to throw you for a loop. Number 3 is Dee Dee. A very underseen
that because I didn't even put Dee Dee up there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Very underseen film. Criminally underseen. It wasn't. The studio didn't put anything behind it, and I don't know why, but I thought it was phenomenal. Another moving film, by the way.
Well said. Yep.
Yeah. My number 2. I'm trying to which part do I want to go here? My number 2 is I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna throw everybody for a loop.
Beetlejuice.
I mean I mean this from the bottom of my horror movie loving heart. Long Legs. I think Long Legs, it has this incredible screenplay. I've seen it 4 times now. It's just an amazing film. It's extremely well written. It doesn't cheese up anything. It really could cheese up that thing, especially with Nicolas Cage in it, who I can't wait till we get to some acting categories, if I may tip my hat.
We're getting there.
Show my hand. And number 1 is Anora.
Respect.
I mean, I don't know how familiar you guys are with John Cassavetes, but It just had his rhythms, and the dialogue was naturalistic. It was funny. It was hard-edged. It was all the things that human life is, and Honora is my number one.
All right. How about you, Anthony? I mean, John.
Yeah, we're gonna go Honora with I can think of two right now. So Honora would be the number two, and then number one I would give to A Real Pain.
Okay.
That was excellent.
All right. Well, this makes my gateway. That's a good throw to me now. Sean Baker for Honora
Honora, cool.
gets my number three. Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain
Real Pain
gets
cool.
my number two. Number one, it's got to make its return. Corley Fargy with The Substance. Shout out to Corley Fargy. All right, so let's head over from that to Best Directing. Might see some throwbacks here on this one for me as well. So let me throw it to you, John.
Best Directing. So let me go ahead and just throw you guys for a blast for the past here, be a little bit of a troll. So at number three, we have The Beekeeper.
That's a early, the beginning of the year pool.
Yeah.
For director?
Yeah.
Yep. I said I was going to throw it back. I said I was a little bit
choice.
of a troll.
I mean,
Interesting
it
choice.
was fun. I liked it. Yeah.
It was fun.
It was a fun film.
It was fun. Show a little bit of love. Haven't mentioned this one. I think Anthony mentioned it once. I'll show some love for Love Lies Bleeding.
Yes.
I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's
that
coming.
and Bike Riders were my top two for a large part of the year.
Me
Really?
too. Me too.
Really? Okay.
Love Lies Bleeding and Bike Riders were fighting for my number one until what will be my number one. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? That's actually all I can think of right now. So I'll let Love Lies Bleeding be one.
All right.
What about
Anthony.
you, Anthony?
Best Direction. Number three. Number three is The Substance. It's first time on my list. You will see it again. Just incredible. I mean, we'll talk about it again. We'll talk about it a few times, I think. So The Substance is number three. This is Best Direction, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Number two, The Brutalist. Just old school filmmaking at its finest. I complain because I'm an old grouch that everybody wants to cut. You know, this movie had a nice flow. He used long takes. I didn't feel the 3.5 hours. I was enthralled by his direction, visually, dramatically impactful, just great work. And number one, direction, Nosferatu, Robert Eggers.
I freaking knew it.
Robert Eggers I've used this word a lot. I'm going to use it again. An incredible job. He didn't ape the styles of the original Nosferatu nor Herzog's 79 remake. He didn't ape any other kind of Dracula style. It's a whole new vibe, a whole new feel, but it keeps the Dracula vampire myth very much intact. It's a waking, inescapable nightmare. And I mean, for the characters and the audience, from the very moment that comes on, Robert Eggers sets this nightmare vision and will not release you from it until the very last shot when the credits roll. It's an incredible job. It's my favorite directing of the year.
All right. I feel that. I respect that. I respect that. Best directing for me. Number three, Sean Baker, writer director on it as well. Writer on it. Gave him, screenwriting nod. But for Honora, I think he did a great job, directing the film as well. Also, I think I gave him an editing nod. Number two, interview on the channel will be coming up very soon. My interview with Ramel Ross of Nickel Boys. Again, another returning guy. Again, I gave him some other nods earlier.
Nice.
But Ramel Ross, for what he did with adapting that film to the screen and just the direction, again, and this FPS perspective, Ramel Ross, amazing. And number one, Corley Fargy, The Substance. Again, I fucking love that film. Let's head over to Best Acting Ensemble. There's going to be some definite returns for me on this one, but I'm curious for you guys. Whoever wants to take it, again, I'm just going to let y'all take it and see who's ready to go because I can't remember. I'm getting too old, and we're getting to the nighttime hours. So who wants to start us off with Best
You're
Acting
sundowning.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, okay. Number 3, this will make Patrick happy. Number 3 is Saturday Night. I haven't had that on anything. Yeah, just what you said it earlier. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, I want to see this, and I like the director Reitman, and but I'm like, there's no way they're gonna get the right actors to play these iconic personalities, and by God, every one of them. Some of them don't look like, I didn't think the Jane Curtin looked really, but they get there. Especially the guy who plays Chevy Chase. He played the Riddler on Gotham. You close your eyes, it's Chevy Chase. And the guy who did John Belushi is incredible. I don't want them to make a movie about Belushi. If they ever do, that's the guy. That's your guy. He's amazing. Yeah, it's just a great ensemble cast. I love it. Number 2 is The Piano Lesson. Incredible cast. Have you seen that yet, John?
No, not yet.
You need to. It's wonderful.
I hadn't yet as well, so that's why I didn't get a nod from me.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you guys
I'm sure I would have put that up there, but I didn't get around to it yet.
Okay. I thought you were at the screening. Yeah, it's an incredible film, and we'll talk about it again soon, and an incredible cast. And my number 1 ensemble cast is Sing Sing. Domingo is the I guess he's the old school in the cast. A lot of people playing themselves. Just soulful, realistic performances that just get into your heart, and perfect. Sing Sing.
Like it. I like it. John.
So 3 for me is gonna be Honora, because they're using mainly a cast of international actors, most of which are like unknown to this side of the world. And I think the one guy is, I think, an Armenian comedian, and then you have some Russian actors in there, and they use a variety of different types of rap music when they were in the strip club from other countries and things like that. But the different characters were just from all over the place, and not too many of them were recognizable, but they all came together and made the movie. So it all worked out. So
yeah,
I like Honora at number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna give to Conclave.
Oh, nice.
Conclave deserves love there too. Yeah.
Yes,
Conclave definitely deserves some love with everyone that they had on there. So again, I've looked at so many movies. I'm trying to remember. So it was Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, it was Ralph Fiennes.
Yep, Ray Fiennes. Yep.
Man, all 3 of them.
Isabella Rossellini.
Same time. Yeah. Yeah. The whole lineup just made the film. So I thought that was really good. And then number 1, I'll give to Sing Sing. And after we met, it's not Jeremy. I can't remember, but his last name is Macklin.
Clarence Macklin.
Yeah. Who we met down in DC when we went to the event.
Yeah.
Man, the whole crew was just so humble, and just like, it was very real, because it was real. And just Coleman, it was interesting because Coleman Domingo is such a great actor, but he wasn't even the best actor out of the whole bunch. So that just goes to show the power of the rest of the cast. So I definitely think Sing Sing should be number 1.
All right, gentlemen. I love that you both said Sing Sing. It was a fight for me for my 1 and 2 spot. And so I had to kind of give an edge out there. But number 3, September 5th.
Great choice.
Period piece. Again, everyone that they brought in there played their hell out of all of their individual roles. There wasn't one person I could place above another. It was truly an ensemble piece, and to make it such a great film. So definitely September 5th to me was a solid 3. 1 and 2 was difficult. I wanted to give Sing Sing number 1. I wanted to get, and y'all know how much I love Sing Sing, but I gave Sing Sing number 2 and gave Saturday Night number
Right.
1 due
Wow.
to the fact that how are you going to cast these greats that we all know and love? And as Anthony said, they fucking did it. The dude who played John Belushi. Chevy Chase, you close your eyes. That's fucking Chevy Chase. Lauren Michaels. I can kind of see what you're saying with Curtin. I think they went with a kind of a different actress for that, but it still worked. But just everyone down the line from George Carlin to the dude that played I'm forgetting his name, the one who did the box. That crazy guy who also battled the wrestler. Him.
Oh, Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman to the guy that they had.
He played 2 roles, you know.
Exactly. Just he played Jim Henson. Played Jim Henson. Just down the line, every motherfucker played their part, man. So I gave that nod over Sing Sing, even though I fucking love Sing Sing. You had to nail that for Saturday Night to be great. And that was an ensemble in all of those individuals. So that's what gave the nod over me on Sing Sing. So next category, Best Young Actor or Actress under 21. This was difficult as fuck for me. I had to look people up. I'm sure some of these people are giving their wrong age because we know how Hollywood can be. But I verified my list. I bounced it on quite a bit of different things, looking up the ages. Best under 21. They could have turned 22 in this year, but when they made when they started in these roles, they were under 21. So this is, I'm sure, going to be a difficult category. If you can only give me one. Again,
I left it blank on the Washington Film Critics nomination list. I'm like, oh,
do any of y'all got it? Because if you guys don't have anything, I can give you mine. Because again, I did so much research to figure this out.
I'll give you one.
Okay,
that's all I can think of, and I don't remember his name. Forgive me. But I think you interviewed him. The little boy from Dee Dee, the kid.
Oh yeah. What? Oh God, I didn't even put him on my list, but I'm curious what his age is. I'll look it up right now.
He was great. So that's who comes to mind for me.
Okay. Oh my God, he is. He's 17 years old. Isaac Wang.
Oh wow.
Isaac Wang. Yeah.
Isaac. Shit. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm a bad Asian. I'm not supporting my people.
He cares. That movie. He carries. I mean, Joan Chen
carried the film,
but he was the star, and he held it together. Yeah,
I respect you on that, Anthony. You make me feel like a bad Asian right now. John, do you have anything?
Yes, the from Moana 2, the girl who played Moana's little sister.
Oh yeah, she was wonderful.
Because I looked her up when I was doing when I was mentioning the cast for my top 15, and I forgot her name, but I remember her picture, and she is most definitely under 21. She's like, I think under 16. She's a baby.
Wow. I'm trying to look her up real quick so we can give some proper love. Do you remember the character's name at all?
I do not.
All right. Well, if you want to look it up real quick, I'll give you mine to give you a little bit of time, just so we can give proper love there. For me, so when I did my research, Anthony, you've been talking about this film all night. I never knew what her age was until I looked this up. But in Beetlejuice.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking Jenna Ortega is under 21.
21?
What?
She is now 22. But when she did, she's 22 years old.
Oh,
wow.
Well, then she's my number 2.
So Jenna Ortega is a phenomenal actress. Yeah. I don't know if Beetlejuice was her best film this year, but she's had a lot of amazing projects in the recent years that I think she's going to be one of the bright new stars even more going forward. There's a film about a school shooting that she did last year that I really enjoyed. That hit home for me because my daughter last year also experienced the school shooting. Amazing film. But Jenna Ortega, I think we loved her in the new. She's in the Screams, right? She was in the Scream
5 and 6.
She's a star. I think we can all agree. She's Wednesday.
Great. Wednesday.
I thought she was a little bit older, guys. But surprised.
So did I. Yeah.
She is. She's now 22, but she turned 22 in September.
Wow.
She was 21. Number 2, I gave to a little film on Apple Films, Apple TV. I don't know if you guys seen this yet. It's called Blitz. Elliot
Oh,
Heffernan,
the kid.
the
The boy.
kid.
Oh, that's a good film.
Great film. Elliot Heffernan, I gave number 2. My number 1, I'm going to be checking for her going forward. I thought she was amazing in this. And my old ass, Maisie Stella, who is the younger version of Aubrey Plaza's character. I love Aubrey Plaza, and I thought she was outstanding. And I thought we were going to get more Aubrey in the film, but it was more so Maisie, and Maisie shined through and just is going to be a star in the making as well. So that's my best actors under 21, guys. You feel that?
Yeah. I just thank you for having Beetlejuice on one of your lists.
Goodness.
All right, now let's get some nitty gritty. We're getting into our supporting and best actors. And
Wait, did we get John's? Oh no, we got one.
Oh yeah, just real quick.
Yeah,
her name is Khaleesi Lambert Suda.
There we go.
Yes.
Shout out to you if you're watching this. we want to show love. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. All right, let's head over to best supporting actress. Whoever wants to start us off, best supporting actress.
John, you can start.
Best supporting.
Unless you're not ready.
I mean, I'm not ready.
Oh.
Remember, all you guys have nominated. We haven't even nominated yet.
Yeah. My best supporting actress, and I'm looking her up, and I'm ashamed that I don't know her name, and I'm
give me the film.
Love Lies Bleeding. Stuart, the other, what's her name?
Katie O'Brien.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I love Katie. She bad. She bad.
She is. I thought she was very good. I had only seen her. We had all only seen her in bit parts and things, and I mean, just, and I don't mean this in a weird way, but she was just, you couldn't take your eyes off of her. She's
magnetic.
Movie, especially at I won't say it, but the big finale. She killed
Four
that.
races in one.
I thought she was great. I'm gonna throw you. This won't make John happy, but I'm gonna throw another loop at you here. Lily Rose Depp.
Nosferatu.
I have yet to be impressed by Lily Rose Depp. I don't not like her. When I see her in a film, yeah, she's fine. She was great in Nosferatu. I mean, great. She would probably be best actress, but I don't know why I don't have her as. But my number one is Margaret Qualley for The Substance. Shout out to Patrick. I mean, what she does in that movie and what she has to endure in that movie as an actress and as a character, man, oh man. And she just kills it. Just nails everything about her character. And her character has this kind of an arc. And then it goes, and then it just explodes. And she is with it. And she takes us with her even when things go wrong. And it's just, and she's the source of one of the biggest laughs of that film. Margaret Qualley for The Substance, my number one.
All right. I feel that. Anthony, did you go, John? John.
Nope. I'm ready now.
Yep.
I'm ready. So at number 3, I also will give some love to Love Lies Bleeding because I liked Katie M. O'Brien. So that is my number 3. Number 2, Zoe Saldana.
Very nice.
Yeah, and Amelia Perez. I'm gonna give her some love. At first, I thought she was gonna be like the main, and then as you know, if you watch the movie, it clearly is not her anymore. So that's number 2. Number 1, because I don't know which one they would consider the main, but I liked her anyway. Some wicked love, Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I liked her character. Yeah.
All right. I respect that. I respect that. All right, for me, this one, if you've seen this film, she does this a lot. Number 3 is Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Wicked. Now you remember that.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't have the
I was
hair,
like-
obviously.
No, when he did it, I knew exactly who it was.
I'm stupid. I was thinking Challengers, Zendaya. Was she?
Oh my God.
But yeah, shout out to Ariana Grande.
That's a
She
good
killed that
choice.
role.
Galinda.
She was hilarious.
Galinda, yes, Galinda the Good Witch, Ariana Grande takes my number 3 from Wicked. This woman, she was in like everything this year. I had the pleasure of speaking with her as well. That interview will dropping on the channel very soon. Ingenue Ellis Taylor. She was in Nickel Boys. I'm giving her the nod for Nickel Boys specifically, but she was also in Exhibiting Forgiveness, The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. She was in like every film that I enjoyed this year. I love her, and I had the honor of speaking with her to close out my year of interviews. She definitely deserves number 1 because of all of the work she did, but I'm giving her number 2 because number 1, the substance, Margaret Qualley. I gotta go with you, Anthony, on this. Margaret Qualley killed that role, and yeah, she gets that shine. But Anjanelle Ellis Taylor, I love her, and just amazing work with all of the work she did this past year. Those are my 3 for best supporting. So now let's head over to best supporting actor. Whoever wants to take this, who we got? Who we got?
Are you ready, John? Or
Yeah, I can go.
all right.
I can go. So this will shock Anthony. So at number 3, we'll go Beetlejuice. Willem Dafoe.
I feel like I just won the award.
Really?
Like Hank John and
Willem Dafoe. Yep.
For that particular role, John?
Yeah. I like. Hey.
Don't you knock it.
Yeah. Let Anthony.
I got
get
Beetlejuice
one.
on both of your lists.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you cook, John. I'm gonna let you cook.
Yeah. Let him get his one. Because we're talking supporting actor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give him that. In Dune 2, I'm trying to think of his name. Was it Javier Bardem who lived in the desert?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Javier Bardem in that role. And then I'll say, because I'm sure they want Coleman Domingo as the main guy. So I'll say Clarence Macklin as supporting actor in Sing Sing.
Yeah.
That's your number 1.
That's my number 1. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Anthony, who you got?
Number 3 is he's number 2. I blew it. Kieran Culkin for Real King is number 2.
That was good.
It's kind of tough, and I hate the way the nominations go because they're both kind of the lead, but it has to be Culkin in the supporting. My number 3 is Nicolas Cage in Longlegs. I thought he did not overdo it. I thought he was absolutely terrifying in the movie, and while still having fun with it. He was unrecognizable under the makeup. That should have probably been on my makeup list. But yeah, he was actually terrifying, and I thought it's some of the best work he's done in years. And so that's my 3. You heard my 2. Number 1, Clarence Macklin, Sing Sing. Just moved my soul, man. Just fantastic.
I feel that. All right, for me, 1 and 2 battled it out, I have to tell you. But number 3, a late entry for me, but Ed Norton in A Complete Unknown was amazing. Just, I didn't know I was going to enjoy that film as much as I did. And when I looked at everything, Ed was great. I thought he was great as the mentor to Timothée Chalamet's character. It was different from what I know of Ed Norton, and being a fan of Ed Norton over the years. I think where he's at now in his acting pocket, just it erased everything else, and he was wonderful. Just a delight. That was number 3. Again, 1 and 2 battled it out. Clarence Macklin gets Sing Sing gets number 2. And y'all know I love Sing Sing, but Clarence, just because I had to think about how long they were in the film and who had to give more time in and put in more work because of the amount of time he was in. Clarence Macklin gets the number 2. So number 1 for me, best actor, A Real Pain, Kieran Culkin.
Maybe.
I think Kieran Culkin shined opposite Jesse Eisenberg.
Yep.
Just phenomenal performance. And and he had to carry that weight with Jesse. And I had to give Kieran the nod for me for best supporting in there. So, best actress, y'all. This is gonna be fun too. I'm curious on y'all's. I know mine was a little difficult. Who wants to go first on this one?
Anthony, you can go.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to say I'll go. Like Nick Nolte in the Hulk. Remember Ang Lee's the Hulk? He's like, I'll go, and he turns into the am I the only one that likes that? My number 3
I enjoyed Ang Lee's Hulk. I'm with you on that. It gets a lot of hate. I enjoyed Ang Lee's Hulk. It was a different take on it.
It was a different take on it. It was a living comic book.
Yeah.
This is best actress, I'm sorry.
Yes, best actress.
Okay. Daniela, I always get
Weiler.
Ed Weiler for the piano lesson. Just blew me away. You guys haven't seen it, so I'll just say Daniela Deadweiler for the piano lesson. You guys figure it out yourselves when you see it. Number 2 and 1 are really tough for me. But at this juncture, I will say number 2 is Mikey Madison for Honora, who I already liked her. I don't know if you guys saw the FX show Better Things with Pamela Alden. I loved her on that. And now if she can do something like this so well, her first caring movie, she's a great actress. And my number 1, Patrick, Demi Moore for The Substance.
Wow.
The best performance she has ever done because it's the best role she's ever been given. It is stunning work from Demi Moore. I hope the Oscars remember her come Oscar time. Demi Moore gets it.
I feel that. All right, John.
Y'all really love The Substance. Boy.
Yes, we do. And we all say, again, don't you ever watch that thing.
Yes.
I want John to watch it.
No. Good friends know what you like and don't like. And all of my friends, people, have told me not to see The Substance.
Because you don't like horror. But I think horror is so good. But it's also comedy. It's everything.
Yeah.
I was gonna see it at TIFF, but then I was talking to a random person and I was like, so like, how is it? They were like, oh, it's a gorish, creepy, sexy nightmare. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably not. But yeah.
It is.
So I was just thinking of so before I forget, I have to mention oh my gosh, I just forgot. Let me see. So I'm gonna throw in Angelina Jolie at number 3 for Maria.
Excellent.
There was Cynthia Erivo. Throw in there for Wicked. I had to throw her in there, and I am so sorry. I just had my number 1, and I was talking to you guys, and I forgot her. But so Cynthia Erivo. So if I can only think of 2 right now. I'm gonna say Cynthia Erivo. Oh no. Okay, I remember now. So my third, Cynthia Erivo would be my number 1. My third, I would say, would be Pamela Anderson for Last Showgirl.
I have not watched that yet. I'm going to.
Yeah, I was actually surprised at how good it was. Like she was really good. And I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but she was really good though.
I didn't know Curtis was in that.
Yeah. All right. I like that. I like Cynthia Erivo because I gave Ariana a nod. But I think Erivo definitely deserves credit in there. I saw Last Showgirl as well. Pamela Anderson was great in there, as well as Jamie Lee Curtis, along with Dave Bautista. The 3 of them were outstanding in that. Yeah. But for me, my 3, number 3 for Honora, Mikey Madison. Phenomenal. I think you were just talking about her not too long ago, Anthony. Just amazing young actor there. Number 2, I just recently saw this film like a week ago, and it's going to be dropping, I think, in the first week of January, nationwide, or at least here in DC. But this film, Hard Truths, Marianne Jean Baptiste.
Oh, I haven't seen
I
it yet.
haven't watched it yet. I'm looking. I love the director.
It is heavy. Talk about somebody that has gone through it and just dealing with things. She steals this film, and she is just, we can all relate to somebody who's just, it's hard to describe, but just, she is phenomenal in this. So she gets the number 2. And number 1, Demi Moore, The Substance.
Hey.
Gotta do that. I gotta do that. Demi, as Anthony said, role of her career, and phenomenal, and just gave up herself in every way. Yeah, outstanding. Let's head over to Best Actor, gentlemen. And then after that, before we do Best Picture, I think I'd like to do our top 10 lists before we get to the Best Picture, so that way the Best Picture can get its full nod, and then we'll do the worst film right after that to close this out. So let's do Best Actor, gentlemen, whoever wants to take it first.
You got it, Anthony.
Okay.
John needs time.
Yeah.
All right. Best actor. Michael Keaton. No. I'm just happy you guys each had a Beetlejuice on your list.
Jenna Ortega. I had one Beetlejuice in there.
I'm happy. It makes me a happy fella. I forgot what my number 3 is, so if you'll bear with me, I'm
All
sorry.
good.
Give
me the film. I can probably help you.
Oh no, I've got it. No, I don't. I didn't forget his name, but this will be a surprise. Best actor, Tom Hardy for The Bike Riders. I thought in the movie, you saw The Bike Riders, right, John?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
In the
Great
movie,
film.
his character is influenced by Marlon Brando to do what he does. And I have said for years that, and it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's true, Tom Hardy is his generation's Marlon Brando. He's so intense. He's so natural. He broods, but not in a look at me, I'm acting kind of way. It's just in him. And it is very much in that film. I thought he was incredible. And number 2, they flip, but not really. So number 2 is Jesse Eisenberg. He's an actor that I can like or be just annoyed by. He's got the kind of thing that he does, and he was very, very good. I think it's the performance of his career in A Real Pain. I thought he was fantastic. And number 1, Mr. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, who just, again, I said it about that movie every time I brought it up, got into my soul. It's incredibly moving performance, and I think his best work, maybe.
I like it. I like it. All right, John. Spotlight on you.
Okay. What was the name of that? Okay, cool. So my number 3, I'm gonna go with Brian Tyree Henry from A Fire Inside.
Okay.
So
I just recently saw that.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I give him 3. No surprise, Coleman Domingo is my 1 for Sing Sing. But my number 2, I'm gonna give him some love. Sarsgaard from September 5th.
Okay.
Great choice.
Yeah. Because
Great
he
performance.
did an excellent job. And normally I don't like him in anything he's in because he's like a sniveling twit. And I didn't like him when we were watching The Presumed Innocent. And I didn't like his character in a couple of different things we didn't like. But here I was like, nah, he did his thing. So
Okay. I like that. All right. For me, number 3, Exhibiting Forgiveness, Andre Holland. A great film, about dealing with that separation with your that parental unit, and can you forgive after what you've gone through your life, and then you become a man, and can you bridge that gap? And like I said, Anjanou Ellis Taylor played the mom in that, and try to get Andre to get with her father again. But I had the pleasure of speaking with the actor that played the dad. I can't remember his name, but I spoke with Andre Holland. Check out that interview on NRW, and just outstanding. So I gave him my number 3. And he beat out, originally Andre was my number 2 in this list, but a quick addition after I saw it, A Complete Unknown, and then hearing that he actually sang and performed these Bob Dylan songs, I got to give Timothée Chalamet number 2. Just a great film. If you love music, or if you're or not a Bob Dylan fan, it's an outstanding film. A Complete Unknown is an outstanding film. Timothée Chalamet killed it. I got to give him his props.
I hope he's nominated this year.
Definitely.
He's really fantastic.
Oh, that man's Wonka, bro. He's Wonka.
He's Wonka. He's Dune.
He's Dylan. He becomes Bob Dylan.
He became Bob Dylan, bro.
I probably should have him at number 2 now that I think about it. So just insert him in there.
Yeah, when I read that he killed it, and watched some stuff that he actually sang,
yeah,
I was like, okay.
I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, and he did it. And then especially when he gets to the second half of that part of his career, when he has the famous glasses and the black suit, you lose Chalamet, and he's so good at hitting those notes. That's my number 2. He's an incredible. I don't know.
You feel me, Anthony? You know what I
am. Yeah, just like I brought you in. I can't remember what it was. You're like, okay, I'll give it that. Yeah, Chalamet's my number 2. He's incredible.
Wow.
Incredible, dude. I got to give him that love. Completely unknown, out of nowhere for me. And just
when he grabbed the microphone, he said, "Long live the fighters." No, I was doing 2.
Yeah. Ed Norton and Chalamet out of nowhere with A Complete Unknown popped into my list after I saw that film. Just brilliant work. And of course, number 1, Sing Sing, Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo, man. Outstanding. Outstanding. All right, guys, let's get into our top 10 lists. Before we get into picture. John, you've been throwing it back. I know you at least have your top 10. So I want you to kick us off on the top 10 list. 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
No, number 1 is The Beekeeper. No, I was playing.
What you got?
No, I'm just kidding. So
we're like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I see everyone gritting their teeth. Oh gosh, thanks.
Good choice, John.
No,
we enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed that movie.
It was fun. It was a good time.
No, but I did a 15, so I can start at 10. I can start at 10. So 10.
And then you can give your honorable mentions after your 10 through 1 because you have 15.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I'm sitting here, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm like reworking my list. Since John got given a little bit more time, I'm doing my list real quick.
Yeah, by all means, get to it if you guys need to. At 10, we're going to go with Nora. Because, again, for the year, and I had like, I think 80 films on this list, and it's still counting. So it was hard to compact and get all of them on there. But Nora was 10. Mine is very diverse, okay? So 9 was The Idea of You, okay? Romantic comedy. I know back in the day, a lot of people were sick of seeing Anne Hathaway, and I'll never forget that interview where she said it, and they were like, well, what do you feel about the industry right now? And she says, I just think people are sick of seeing me. And I was one of those people. But her as a grown woman in this role, I like adult Anne Hathaway. So she was she was funny in this. She was very funny in this. That's 9. 8, I have Godzilla X Kong because it brings together the whole the MonsterVerse between that and I think it was called Legacy, the TV series. No, Monarch. It was on Apple TV Plus, and then before that, Kong. I think Skull Island, and it's like just bringing the whole thing together. So that for number 8. For number 7,
son will love you for that, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. For 7, I got Escape. I don't know if anyone saw that, but
the Well Go USA movie.
Yes,
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was a foreign film. It follows a guy who's a part of the military in North Korea, but he defects to South Korea, and just like following him, his friends, his family, and like the group of people who are trying to get over there as well. I mean, it's a nonstop thriller. Like the whole thing is edge of your seat the entire time. It was extremely well done. My number 6 is The Forge. I don't think either one of you saw that one. The Forge is a faith-based film, but it's a faith-based film that's not campy like pure flicks and anything off of like Hallmark or anything else like that. It focuses on discipleship, and even though it's like it's based within the War Room universe, so there's like Priscilla Schreier and TC Stallings is in it, but it focuses on discipleship and mentorship and how important community is with young men. And so a lot of times, especially with Christian films, they'll kind of like focus on the woman. And this one, they focus on young men and how mentorship is important and how it can change the lives of young men. So The Forge is my number 6. Number 5 is Wicked. So the theater brats can hate me for 5, but that's what it is. Wicked was very, very good. It was very well done, but there's also 80, 90 other movies we had to get to. So my number 4 is Dune 2. We all know it was amazing. The cast was great. The visual effects were awesome. 3, Piece by Piece. It gets extra props because it's a biopic that was shot in a form that we've never seen before. We've never seen a documentary shot in Lego animation. So props for that. Soundtrack was awesome. We got behind the scenes access to Pharrell and his family, which has never been done before because he's never shown his family. He's got to hear his kids and his wife. Haven't heard of that. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is The Wild Robot, because The Wild Robot was epic perfection and it's very emotional and it was funny. It was all of the things. And then, of course, number 1 has to be Sing Sing. Has to be Sing Sing. If I hear Patrick give the substance, I'm logging off. And that's how I'm in my top 10. It has to be all clean sweep. It has to be Sing Sing. Has to be.
We shall see. We shall see. Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anthony, it's on you, sir.
Well, the theater brats are going to hate me too because Wicked doesn't even make my top 20.
Well, aren't you Wafka, sir?
You are
Aren't you
Wafka.
Wafka, sir?
I did not vote for Wicked in any category.
No way.
I liked it. It was good. It was fun, and I never need to see it again. All right. Moving on.
Oh, man.
It was good. It was good.
The theater kids are going to come after you, bro.
I'm ready. If I hear somebody saying Defying Gravity, I'm jumping out the window.
Hold up. Did you want to do honorable mentions? I'm sorry, before you, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
You gave your top 10, John, but where were some that you said you 15? Where were the 5 that didn't break in?
Okay, honorable mentions were Transformers 1, Spellbound, Moana 2, A Real Pain, and Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul.
I love that movie.
It was cute.
So you watched it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No Wicked, I see. My number 10, which used to be, as of late spring, my number 1, Love Lies Bleeding. I still think it's an incredible movie. It's unique. It's, forgive me, John, it's erotic. It's a good thriller. It's a good relationship drama. It's all of these things. And it swings for the fences in the finale. I think that turned off a lot of people. I thought it worked perfectly. It went with the theme of the weightlifting and all that. So Love Lies Bleeding is my number 10. Excuse me, my number 9, which used to be my number 2 back at that same time, The Bike Riders. I call it the Goodfellas of motorcycle gang movies. It's just the scope is incredible. The cast, I don't remember. Did I list that in my ensemble cast? The cast is ridiculously good. The smallest
Bike Riders deserve some cast love. Yeah.
And it's set in Chicago. It's mostly British actors, and Jodie Comer, who probably should have been my number 3 in Best Actress, does a spot on. I'm from the area. Spot on Chicago accent. Yeah, it's great. And it still holds up. I just rewatched it. My number 8, excuse me, is Long Legs. Just modern horror is tough to get right, and they got it right. They made it unique. They didn't, hit you over the head with too many jump scares. It was all atmospheric. A lot of people compare it to Silence of the Lambs because it's a female FBI agent, but it's not really, going in. It's just a great story, great screenplay, great direction, great acting. I loved it. Excuse me. My number 7 is A Real Pain. Jesse Eisenberg, for all the things that John said already so eloquently. My number 6 is Anora. We've talked about that ad nauseum too. That's my number 6. My number 5. Ooh.
It's so hard, dude.
Things around. I know. My number 5 is The Brutalist. Incredible movie. Really powerful stuff. I can't wait to see it in 70 millimeter. It's coming back. Excuse me. My number 4 is, I'm sorry, Patrick, that's number 4. The Substance.
Whoa.
For all the reasons we said, it's top 5, baby. Top 5.
Wow. Okay.
It got booted by a few things. Yeah, it's just incredible. I'm telling you, for the uninitiated, it's really going to blow you away, either good or bad. But you'll walk away from that movie, whether you like it or loathe it. You've never seen anything like it, and you won't forget it. And I just thought it was just fantastic. Apologies for number 4.
All good. All good.
Number 3, I had to do a tie because I just can't. Flo and the Wild Robot, the 2 best animated films of the last gazinga years. What do you want?
Well.
What?
Flo and the Wild Robot?
Yeah.
Tied at 3?
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that, man.
What's wrong? You're gonna hate what's above it.
Well, if they're tied at 3, then that means there is no 2. If there's tied at 3, so what's the number 1?
No, there's a 2. I don't do that. If it's a tie, it's the one line. Because you can't.
Hey, John, I broke it up, John. I hear what you're trying to do, John, with it, and I respect you for that, John.
Yeah.
But I feel you, Anthony. I feel you too, Anthony.
Sometimes I have ties on my list, and people say, well, then there's no number 6. I'm like, nope, they're both number 7. So anyway, number 2, Nosferatu. It's above the Wild Robot. Again, just an incredible waking nightmare that is everything you want a vampire movie to be, and it's pure art. It's pure art in every single frame, and it's unnerving in every single frame. And when it was over, you can relax, And I just think it's brilliant. I think it's Eggers' best movie. I think it's an incredible film. They're releasing it on Christmas Day. I don't know why they're doing that. I want it to find an audience, and I hope it will. Number 1, Sing Sing, for everything we've said. Just one of the most moving films I've seen in years. Yeah, I love it.
All right, gentlemen. I like those lists.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah. My bad.
I hated that I had to drop all 3 of these out of the top 5. So I'll say Checkpoint Zoo, a documentary that plays like a thriller, and I hope it finds a distributor. John and I saw it at Tribeca, and it must find a distributor. That means it would be next year, but I saw it this year, so it's an incredible documentary, true story, old documentary. Furiosa, Mad Max saga. It just kept getting booted down and down and down, and it had to fall out of the top 10, but best action movie of the year. Probably the best action movie since the last Mad Max movie. The Piano Lesson, incredible adaptation. Piece by Piece, for everything John said, and Horizon. Horizon.
I was wondering where you were going to throw it in as much as you were talking about it this year.
Yeah. I think it's a great Western. Does it have a few flaws? Yes, it's not perfect. I'm sad that audiences didn't, because audiences love Westerns so much these days. I'm sad that they didn't support it. I think it's an epic like they used to make them. And I hope he gets to do chapters 2, 3, and 4. But I thought it was a great Western. Really, Kevin Costner is a fantastic director, I think. And he knows how to make a Western. Dances with Wolves, Open Range. This, I thought was fantastic.
All right. All right. Love it, gentlemen. Thank you. All right. So
Bring it home, Patrick. Bring it
I'm
home.
gonna start with my honorable mentions because I have a top
excited.
20. I originally had a top 26. I broke it down to 20, but to do the top 10. So I'm gonna give you my honorable mentions, which is the bottom half of that 10, because I brought it down to 20. So I'm gonna just quickly mention my honorable mentions. I will say this, because you deserve a kick in the knees, Anthony, with your tie. I didn't even place Nosferatu in my top 20. How you like them apples? And I interviewed
Hey,
Defoe and
folks.
Holt. So that's a kick to your knees real quick. I enjoyed the film, but it
It's a bite
lagged
to
in
my
parts.
neck.
It lagged in parts, sir. It's atmospheric. It's what a vampire film should be, but it just it won't get the same replay value as all these other films for me.
Oh, no,
I
no,
enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the film.
Nosferatu, you must have gotten it confused.
All right, so I love you. I love you, Anthony. So real quickly, my honorable mentions that didn't crack, that got shuffled around. A Complete Unknown, Diddy, My Old Ass, Fly Me to the Moon, which none of us mentioned. I thought it was a great ScarJo, Channing Tatum film. I enjoyed that. Smile 2, Piece by Piece. Smile 2, we didn't give any love. I thought the actor that played the lead in that, one of her best roles, and just she carried that whole horror film. Piece by Piece, which got a lot of love from my man John over there. Hundreds of Beavers stood out for its originality.
Same.
Wicked gets in there. A Real Pain gets in there. And September 5th. Those are on the bottom in no particular
Those are honorable
order.
mentions?
Those are my honorable mentions. So, top 10. Number 10. Exhibiting Forgiveness. Andre Holland. Titus Kaphar, director. Andre Holland, the lead. Andra Day. Again, check out those interviews on the channel. But just, it hit me because of what I've gone through in life, my relationship with my parents, and what I think a lot of us can relate to. And I just thought that was an outstanding film. Honora gets number 9. Shout out to Sean Baker, Mikey Madison, the cast that you said from different places all over, as you said, John, just came together, gave such a powerful film. Nickel Boys, Ramel Ross, Anjanou Ellis Taylor gets number 8, just for all the reasons we've said throughout tonight. Deadpool versus Wolverine. I don't normally put these action films in there, but one of my favorite experiences the entire year in cinema, laughing, having so much fun, just a great film all the way around.
Sure.
What was that? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Saturday Night. I gave it a lot of nods for all the various reasons. That's taking number 6 for me. Great film. Originally, my number 1 film at the beginning of the year, Love Lies Bleeding, is number 5. And we mentioned that. Just Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien killed it. Number 4, Flow. Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant. That gets the number 4 nod. The Wild Robot gets number 3. And again, you catch me on the right day, but I have to break it down. Number 2 is going to go to The Substance. So number 1 across the board is Sing Sing. So I don't even think we need to say Best Picture, because all the way around on all 3 of our lists, Sing Sing was our number 1.
Sing Sing.
So, fuck.
We did it. He's gonna lay in bed tonight. No, it's The Substance.
Nope.
If there were to be a tie, like you had your 2, Flow and Wild Robot, Anthony,
You can do it.
that could have been a tie.
Ties are okay.
Grow up and be a man. Be a man.
If I'm a man, I'm putting Flow over the Wild Robot.
No, you're a troll. That's what you are, sir.
So that's my list, gentlemen. This has been a blast doing this with
This
you
was a
guys and
great time.
hearing our
I
various
was looking
perspectives
forward
on
to it.
everything. Just some great cinema this past year. Before we get up out of here, let's throw the dud nod. For me, I'll just kick it off real quickly because I looked it up real quick, as you know, before we got going. Madam Web, Sony Marvel sucks. Although they're closing out with a good one with this Kraven the Hunter. As of this recording, it's releasing this past week. Kraven the Hunter is actually a decent, entertaining film. But Madam Web leads me on the terrible list. What do you got, John?
Well, I have an honorable mention because I don't know if you guys saw it, but the Gracie and Pedro Mission Impossible was an absolute dud. That was an animated film. But
Okay.
for major projects, there was a tie. There was a tie for the bottom, with one being The Watchers, and the other being Argyle.
Oh,
Argyle.
I
Oh,
thought Argyle sucked.
I wasn't
I
that
did
disappointed
too.
with Argyle, but I was definitely disappointed in The Watchers.
The Watchers.
Didn't we see that together?
We all saw
Yes.
The Watchers.
we did.
And
And
was
we all
very
said the same
disappointed.
thing
Yes.
for 20 minutes. Hey, this is gonna. Oh, nope.
Nope.
The Watchers was a major disappointment. Halle Berry, I love you, but bad choice.
No, wait, that was Never Let Go,
No.
which is also
Oh,
terrible.
That
I'm
was Never Let
confusing it.
Go.
Oh, Watchers was the M. Night Shyamalan, the M. Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan's daughter
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah, that was Never Let. Then I would put Never Let Go also in my bottom films of the year.
I'm about to
That's a
say you can
big
have
film
another
in-
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Big film disappointment. So yeah, let me throw along with Madam Web, Never Let Go, and The Watchers. I'm with you, John.
Yeah. Wait till I publish my worst of the year. You'll see them. You'll see them all. But I have three top ones if I can do
Okay.
them real fast.
Yeah.
My number 3, Agent Recon. Chuck Norris's big return to movies. Oh my gosh. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Did you see it, John?
Did you interview the director, didn't you?
I did. And he was a nice guy. Good guy.
I'm sure, yeah.
But the
Hey,
film was
oh my
not great at all.
gosh. Who? What? Man, it looked like they made it on a Mac from 19. I don't know. My number 2 is Night Swim. It was the first horror movie of the year and our first press screening of the year. Horror movie. I know you didn't go, John. I don't know if you were there, Patrick.
I went to
don't know.
Beekeeper. Beekeeper was my first this year. I wasn't available. I wanted to make it, but I wasn't able to make it. But I still wanted to see it. So
It
this is
is-
the first I heard. I didn't look into it afterwards. So Night Swim was terrible.
It is so bad. It is embarrassing. Bad.
Okay.
I won't even get into why. My son, who gives a lot of rope, was my guest, and he said, "This is stupid." I'm like, I know it is. It just gets dumber and dumber and dumber. And number 1, Madam Web. My God,
Oh, that's funny. Both of y'all.
Yeah,
just-
dude. Madam Web was horrible, man.
Like I saw it, but I thought it was bad, but I didn't think it was like M. Night Shyamalan bad. So that's why it didn't make my bottom.
Oh yeah, it was.
The Watchers was terrible, and Argyle was terrible too.
Hey, Trap wasn't as bad as they said, but it got bad.
I'm gonna say they trashed Trap, and I wanted to see it too. But
It's not horrible, but it sinks.
Oh, well, let me tell you this. They know that it's bad because guess what? It's not on their FYC on Warner Brothers.
That's
Yeah.
true. Nobody.
All their other movies are on there, and Trap is not.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Let's close it out on a positive note because I don't like to leave it ugly. Because it takes a village to make a film. It takes a lot of hardworking folks. So props to all the cast crew that give us this entertainment for us to escape our lives. A lot of great films dropped this year. What is a film that you both are looking forward to in 2025 that is coming out to just kind of do that? And maybe we can return and maybe put together our most expected, film of the year. If you guys are available when I get back from vacation, I'd love to do that with you guys because this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a blast.
This is good. And as all of us know, you need and deserve a vacation, Patrick. So
You
I'm
do,
happy to hear
sir.
that you're going on vacation.
You need a month.
A month. A
I
month.
appreciate
Minimum
you.
2 weeks.
Greek
Minimum.
island and swim and take in sun and quiet and relaxation and food and family.
Yeah, man.
You have been working hard, good man.
Thank you, sir.
Very
I
hard.
appreciate y'all.
And
So,
I appreciate,
what
you
are
know,
y'all's most anticipated? One, one or two, or however you can think about real quick.
Paul Schrader, who Canada, honorable mention. Forgot to bring that up.
Yeah.
Day of the Fight, Patrick. We didn't bring it up.
Yes, another great film that
Start
definitely
the show
deserved.
over. Start the show over. We're going. No, Paul Schrader is making a Western. So I'm in. I'm in. It won't show up till probably this time next year because he hasn't even started shooting. Hasn't started pre-production. That's my number one most anticipated movie of the year. He's one of my favorite writers, filmmakers, and Westerns. So there you go.
Okay. How about you, John?
You guys know me. I like the animated stuff, the cartoon stuff, kind of fantasy children's stuff. It's going to be premiering at Sundance. Another one from A24, The Legend of Sochi. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you have seen the trailer for it, but your guy Willem Dafoe, he keeps getting work. He's in
the guy from Beetlejuice.
Yes, that guy. Best supporting actor. Yeah, that guy. If the kid who is in It, but also in Stranger Things, is also in it.
Finn
I
and
think
Saturday Night. He was in Saturday Night.
Was he in Saturday Night? Okay, so he's also in The Legend of Sochi. It's him, Willem Dafoe. I don't know the young girl's name, but if I have to pick a best actress under 21, I know who to look at first because she's very young. And it's about like this like mythical creature in the forest that's supposed to be like dangerous. And the adult version looks very dangerous, but she finds a baby version and she keeps it and hides it while everyone else is trying to kill it. So that's kind of like the Legend of Sochi. So
We'll look that up. That sounds
Yeah, you got me curious about that one.
yeah, Sundance posted it today when they announced their lineup. It was on there. It was one of the featured films on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, Bong Joon-ho gave us The Parasite. But he's working with Mr. Twilight, Robert Pattinson in Mickey 17.
I want to see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
I
very
saw that
intrigued
inside
by
the
that
Warner
one.
Brothers press thing today.
Dealing with reincarnation, all of that, coming back and forth to try and figure things out. I love The Parasite. That was an amazing film, and so I'm curious what he's going to do with Pattinson. And I'm sure there's a whole other laundry list. I'm probably forgetting something, but off the jump, I was trying to look real quick to see if there's anything outside of Mickey 17 for me. But yeah, I'd say Mickey 17 for me. Yeah, I'm curious about the Fantastic Four film we're getting, Brave New World. I'm a Marvel Comics guy. All of those films, definitely curious what they're going to do there. We're getting the new Superman with James Gunn. All of that, the DC. I'm a comics nerd, so interested what they're going to do there. But Bong Joon-ho, Parasite, fucking Mickey 17 looks really cool.
Superman's my favorite superhero. I wish they'd leave it alone.
Are you nervous with Gunn?
Yep. I'm very nervous. Look, I mean, Christopher Reeve is Superman to me.
Yeah.
For so many reasons, but
I agree.
Honorable mention, by the way. I like Henry Cavill when he's doing other things. I don't like Henry Cavill as Superman.
That's my Superman.
Yeah. Well, we got a different guy. I forgot the guy who's in the new version.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm going in with an open mind because it's my favorite superhero. So
yeah.
And I like James Gunn.
Yeah.
All
right, gentlemen.
Fantastic Four. You've tried twice. You can't do it. I don't believe you can do it a third time. I don't care how good the cast is going to be. I'll go see it at the press screening. But I hope I'm wrong is all I can say. And if it doesn't work, if it fails, stop. Give it up. 3 strikes, you're out. You know what I mean?
I feel that. All right, gentlemen.
On a positive note.
We still did.
On a positive note, honorable mention, Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, a beautiful documentary.
There we go.
Wonderful documentary.
About a beautiful man.
I agree. All right, guys. This was an immense pleasure. I I'm thankful for this year because it brought the three of us, the three of us. Can't count. I'm getting old and it's the time.
Like, which one's he leaving?
It brought the three of us together, and it has been a pleasure chatting it up, talking movies. I hope we can do more in 2025, and definitely do like an anticipated list. But also just reviews throughout the year and more partnerships, and maybe we can have some fun at some film festivals, guys. But thank you for sharing, and yeah, man, this has been a lot of fun. Let's plug what you guys got to close this out, and yeah, y'all follow and support my guys, Anthony and John. Links in the description below. John, take us away. Where can they find you at?
Cool. They can find all of our reviews on thepeachreview.com, and on all social channels, we are at The Peach Review.
There you go. John Jones in the building. And my man from the Movie Review, Screen Comment, and Film Threats, Anthony Francis. How are you, sir?
I'm behind the scenes now, yeah. Themoviereview.com and screencomment.com. All of my reviews are there, and articles, and you'll see my best of list there as well. Socials at themoviereview.com.
All right, there you go. Anthony, John, links in the description below. I'm KAYFABEYBABY. This is Nerds Rule the World. This is the best of 2024. Again, I'm already getting crazy with this. I'll probably break up this video to do different snapshots to just make more content out of it. So everybody, because we went long, y'all.
We went long.
But a blast. And we covered so many different things, but I love it. And I love
great
you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. I appreciate y'all. Wishing you both nothing but the best in 2025. And thank you for making 2024 a wonderful year for me by just knowing the both of you. Everybody, Anthony Francis, John Jones, I'm KAYFABEYBABY. This is Nerds Rule the World.
Peace.
All right, there's the cut, guys.